Hi. So let us first see the X-ray of this perforation. You can see the furcal perforation in this tooth. So the perforation repair, the prognosis of a perforation repair, it depends on number one, site of the perforation, whether you are able to access this area properly, and it also depends on the time since it has happened. So the best time to repair a perforation is as soon as possible you see the perforation. So if you are able to seal this area as soon as possible, the chances of saving a tooth, the prognosis is always better. So whenever you see a perforation, you have to remove the gatta parcha from all the canals, and what we are doing here is we are thoroughly irrigating with high concentration, a full concentration sodium hypochlorite. So sodium hypochlorite is to be used at full concentration, and this will only disinfect the perforation site for us. We need this perforation site to be thoroughly disinfected, then only you can seal this perforation. So a rubber dam, I would say, is mandatory in such a case. We are again putting a cotton pallet soaked with sodium hypochlorite. We will leave it there for a few minutes, and that will also stop the bleeding. In many cases, a fresh perforation will profusely bleed. So you have to stop the bleeding so that you can access the site. So you have to stop the bleeding with sodium hypochlorite solution. So site and the time since it has happened, these two factors have impact on your prognosis for the repair of perforation. Now what I'm doing here is I don't want my MTA to enter the canals. So what I'll do is I'll use the gatta parcha to block the orifices of the canal. So I'm not see, either way you can do it. You can complete your root canal treatment, you can seal the canals with the gatta pacha, you can do the obturation completely, and then also you can repair this perforation. In this case what I'm demonstrating is I'll seal the orifices with the gatta pacha, just sealing the orifices. This gatta pacha is not going deep into the canal, so I'm just blocking the orifices. This the same procedure you can also follow if you are trying to remove a broken instrument from a canal. So you don't want your instrument, your broken file, to come out of one orifice and enter the another orifice. So you have to block this orifice prior to doing any such procedure. Now I am using gatta parcha here to block the orifices. You can also use cotton or whatever you find comfortable. This gatta parcha can easily be removed, so I am using this one. Even if you don't have some down pack instrument, you can just take a hot burnisher and remove this from the gatta pacha from the orifice level. So I'm using a down pack instrument here. So after you get a thorough disinfection of the canals, you can seal the orifices. Just confirming. The MTA I'm using here is ready-made consistency. These are available in syringes now. Earlier in our post-graduation days, we used to mix the powder and liquid. However, nowadays the pre-mixed syringes are available. These are very nice and easy to use. So I'm just drying this canal, no, drying the perforation site, I'm sorry. Just drying the perforation site with a reverse paper point. So earlier it was recommended to place cotton wet cotton pallet over the MTA. However, nowadays we know that the MTA gets the moisture from the dentinal walls, so you don't have to put any cotton over that. Just dry this area and you can fill it with the MTA. I'll show you in a while. I would recommend you always use good quality MTA. Do not try to save a few bucks in the quality of MTA, because what happens is this MTA, if it is not a good quality MTA, it will dissolve after some time and you will have a leakage, and your furcation site will again have some kind of lesion or radiolucency on the X-ray. So the perforation site is clear of any moisture or any kind of excessive bleeding. So this is the MT I'm bringing in. This has been placed on a plugger. You can use whatever instrument you are comfortable with. This is a plugger that is used for the down pack and backfill gutta percha technique. So try to push the MTA. Now it is not to be placed in too much of excess. Just we have to seal the site thoroughly, and it should go till the perforation site, till the tooth. I mean, just try to uh, prevent too much of extrusion. Just try to keep it inside the tooth. And here I'm using paper point in the reverse manner, just to plug this MTA into the perforation site properly. This should get adapted to the dentinal walls. And what this paper point will do is also it will remove the excess moisture from the site. We do not want any excessive moisture, so that the properties change of the MTA. We just want enough moisture so that the MTA sets. So I'll be adding another increment of MTA right now. This is the another increment. Now this is the easiest example that I could display a perforation repair. Now the perforation can happen at any level, at any site. I have seen perforations right at the orifice of the canal. Now these are very difficult to manage because you won't be able to clearly see where is the canal going and where is the perforation. So it all depends on your accessibility. Ideally, the apical perforations, these have the best prognosis if you can get direct access to the canal, the main canal, and just fill the canal as you would do in a normal case. You can fill it with MTA also, but you can just fill the canal as usual also. It will heal, if it is not leaking from the from the coronal or the middle area. So apical perforations have the best prognosis theoretically. So in this area, in this case, I could properly seal this perforation site with MTA. So this I hope this will have a very good prognosis, and I'll show you the long term follow up of one case I did for perforation repair. So after placing the MTA, you just have to close the site. Now in the same appointment, what you can do is you can also wait for around 15 to 20 minutes, and it depends on the manufacturer's guidelines if this MTA will set or not. Better to better to start in the next appointment. So what we'll do is, I'm showing that we have put the temporary cement here. We have filled the canal with the temporary filling material, and we'll discard the patient for now. In the next appointment, so I would remove this temporary Usually I try to remove this temporary with the ultrasonic scaling instruments. It is very helpful, these instruments. Easily the temporary can be removed. I do not try to place any kind of cotton pallet here. In my routine root canal cases also, I never put cotton nowadays. I'll straight away put the temporary, and it can be easily removed with the scalers. So after removing this, now I'm just washing the area with wet cotton pallet. This has been wet with hypochlorite again. Just drying the area, and you can see the MTA is still there. It must get hard at this appointment, and if you are not sure of that, just check with some kind of explorer. It should be hard enough. Now this gutta percha, this can be easily removed with some downpack instruments also, and I'll show you in a while how I have removed this. So if you are starting a perforation repair for someone else's error, like the patient has come to you to get a perforation repair and this is not your case, so just try to see whether the patient is totally convinced and totally he wants to get this tooth saved or not. Otherwise, don't treat the tooth. So here I'm using H file in the clockwise manner, engaging and just removing the gutta percha easily here. So your patient should be very cooperative and willing to get the tooth saved. Then only you must try for these kind of cases. Otherwise, it is very difficult to convince a patient if you are not able to successfully treat the tooth. So more than you, the patient should be willing to get the tooth saved in all the retreatment cases, I would say. And of course, if you have committed this error of perforation, then immediately I would recommend have something like MTA in your clinic, or at least put GIC in the same appointment, in the same day. Try to complete the root canal treatment and seal the area with at least GIC thoroughly, so that the tooth does not leak. Now I get some queries from my students. Some people message me, some doctors, that sir, I have committed a perforation, I have done a perforation and I have given open dressing to the patient, sir, is it okay? So I tell them, if the earlier you stop these open dressings, the more you will be comfortable in your life. These open dressings, these just complicate your treatment. Never I recommend these, never I do these. Never try to leave a tooth open in the oral cavity. Your The next time you will see the tooth, there will be a good colony of bacteria that you will not be able to remove now. So never keep the tooth open. If you are sending your patient to some another endodontist, to some specialist for perforation repair, always close this tooth with at least good uh, uh, good quality of temporary cement, temporary filling material. You do not leave the tooth open at all. So just doing a down pack and backfill here. So just want to ask you all to like our channel, like the video, share our videos, and also subscribe our channel if you have not subscribed yet. And some of the videos are available for the members only, so you can join our channel also and watch those videos. And if you have any questions, do let us know in the comment section. I would love to answer you all. And recently we have touched 25,000 subscribers. Thank you all for that cooperation, for that support. And I'll try to keep making such videos. If you want to personally contact me, you can message me, WhatsApp me on 9968 I would love to help you all. So this is a backfill gatta parcha, the thermoplasticized gatta parcha technique. Now, after completing the obturation in the same appointment, I would love to thoroughly clean this chamber with sodium hypochlorite again, cotton, and then I would definitely try to good a very good composite filling over this area. I would never leave the tooth with any kind of cotton or temporary over this. I would always try to totally thoroughly seal this area with good quality of permanent filling such as composite. I would never take risk in this.